It is a big weekend in Boston sports, and the Red Sox are at home to kick it all off. Fans will flood in at full capacity tomorrow to America's most beloved ballpark, fully open for the first time since September of 2019. And boy, will it be special, rain and all. But first things first tonight, Rafael Devers and the Red Sox boasting the second best record in the American League. Welcome the Miami Marlins to town to crack open the three-game series. Thanks very much for joining us with Jerry Remy and Jemai Webster. Mike Monaco filling in for Dave O'Brien. And Jerry, the Red Sox were off yesterday, but in Wednesday's win over the Braves, Christian Vasquez drove in 3.
Yeah, it was a great night for Christian on Wednesday night. You know, he had a couple of big at-bats in that game. Now, he's not going to be playing infield tonight. He's going to be catching. But the fact is, you know, before the rains came, he got a beautiful line drive to the opposite field, driving in a couple of runs. Those are the kind of at-bats that Alex Cora has been looking for. After the rain delay, man at third base, sacrifice fly to the outfield to give the Red Sox some insurance runs in that ball game. Now, recently, he's been throwing out more runners behind the plate. That part of his game has certainly come along, and he's catching Martin Perez, so they've worked hand in hand all season long. So this might be a time where Vasquez gets hot with the bat now that he's got that opposite field stroke down. And
he himself said it earlier today. They got to keep giving Martin Perez more run support like they've done in his last couple of starts. Perez gets the ball for the Sox tonight. He has been reliable going up against the Marlins. It's coming up next. Out hunger program. Dunkin', New England and Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Subaru of New England, proudly celebrating 50 years of love. Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service, we're always here to get you there. And by your local New England Honda dealer. Around here, we Honda. Getting set for Red Sox and Marlins on this rainy Friday night. And there's a very familiar face in town with this Marlins team. And for more on that, let's say hello to Jemai Webster.
Hey there, Mike. That's absolutely right, and it is Sandy Leon. For the first time since he last wore a Red Sox uniform, he is back in Boston, and he didn't spend the 2019 season with the club either. Shortly after announcing he would not return on social media, Christian Vasquez called him his brother, told him that he loved him, and this afternoon, Vasquez tells us just how much Leon meant to his career.
He supported me every day, you know. We play from the minor leagues. He was with Washington in the minor leagues, and when I got hurt, he came here 2015 through the World Series, and 2019. You know, it's a lot of time with me, you know, playing, and it was fun. It was like supporting each other, and we see a lot of good things here together.
Leon's 5 years culminated with that World Championship in 2018. He was a late add to the Marlins lineup tonight. He is DHing for them and batting 8th. And because it's Friday, even though it's rainy and wet weather could be on the way, we're still having a good time with Predict the Game. Our first question, Rafael Devers has 9 RBI in his last 5 games. How many will he have tonight? That's our first question. Head to NESN.com/Predict the Game to make your picks and compete to win a signed Jerry Remy jersey. Who wouldn't want that? First pitch coming at you next.
And Jerry, it's good to be back with you. First of all,
nice to have you back.
Unfortunately, I didn't clean up the weather that you dealt with at the end of the game Wednesday.
Yeah, we left here with rain on Wednesday night, and we returned to light showers right now. It's not raining very heavy, so they'll be able to get this game started. We'll have to see how long it remains light and go from there.
Well, it's a Marlins team that comes into town hanging around a crowded NL East, and a Red Sox team coming off the off day yesterday. 50 games in, 30-20 overall, second in the AL East, 1 game back of the Rays at the start of the day.
This is as good a start as you would expect. You know, I think it surprised a lot of people. There's no question about that. The Sox being a game back at Tampa Bay right now. And, you know, 30-20, there was a lot of questions coming in the season about a number of things, but they seem to have those things worked out. You know, playing good baseball, they've got to start playing a little better at home to be more consistent at home. But the fact is you know, they're right where they want to be right now. They know exactly what they've got to do, and they've proved that they can compete with some of the big boys in the league. And this schedule right now that they're going through is pretty tough. Now, Miami's a club that's coming in offensively, not so much, you know, but good pitching. And that's always a concern, you know, anytime you face a team that's got good young pitching, and they got some.
There's Don Mattingly. He's the manager of this Marlins team. And, Jerry, you mentioned the Red Sox playing at home. It's going to be a different feel for them going forward. Full capacity allowable at Fenway starting tomorrow.
I think that's the case for all the players. Can you imagine what they've been through, last year with no fans at all, and this year partial fans, and to be able to get somewhat close to a full house or a full house here over the next couple of days, I think would be something that a lot of these guys on this Red Sox club have not experienced before, because last year they saw nothing. They saw nobody here. So it's going to be great for everybody. Obviously for the fans coming back, for the organization, for the players, and for us. I mean, we're going to enjoy doing games in front of a full house.
Very different than how it was last time I saw you.
You got to get out. You got to get out of your bedroom where you're doing all your games now.
A full ballpark will be a beautiful thing. 25% capacity here tonight, and we are just about set to get started. We showed you Don Mattingly. Here is his lineup for the Marlins tonight. John Birdie leads off. Starling Marte just off the injured list, bats second. Jesus Aguilar leads the NL in RBIs. Garrett Cooper's the cleanup man, followed by Corey Dickerson. Jorge Alfaro bats sixth. Adam Duvall was a late scratch for the Marlins. Isan Diaz in the 7th spot. Old friend Sandy Leon, you heard all about him from Jamai. He gets into the lineup as the DH in the 8th spot. And Rafael Devers' cousin, Jose Devers, is in the 9th spot at shortstop. Going up against the Red Sox starting pitcher, presented by Audi. Visit your New England Audi dealer and experience the fully electric Audi e-tron. Today it's Martin Perez in his 10th start.
And here's the Red Sox defense, presented by the Oakers Company, celebrating 100 years of service and support, and proud home of TouchView Interactive. For the Red Sox, 32 errors in 50 games. Rafael Devers will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Marwin Gonzalez gets the start at second. And Danny Santana, the first baseman. Left to right, Alex Verdugo, Kike Hernandez, and Hunter Renfroe, with Christian Vasquez behind the plate.
Our umpires are brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. CB Buckner is the crew chief, has home plate. Chad Fairchild, Adam Hammery, and Jose Navas. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP is brought to you by Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. Visit toyotacertified.com to see factory-backed used Toyotas now.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Now time for the weather forecast, presented by Window World, the official replacement window of the Boston Red Sox. And temperatures in the 50s, a little bit of humidity, some rain, but we are about to get started.
Well, for Perez, he's coming off a couple of really good starts. One against L.A., one against the Philadelphia Phillies last time I got the win. In the last 2 games, he's gone 6 innings in both of those games, the longest he's gone all season, and had a season high 7 strikeouts last time out against Philadelphia.
It was 6 innings for him on Friday against the Phillies. Alex Cora said afterward he was solid again. Did a better job elevating some of his pitches, and then the changeup was working as well. That's been a part of his growth over the course of this season. And he delivers. Strike one, and we're off and running.
Yeah, with the forecast, be ready to swing tonight, because I think that strike zone may expand a little bit.
That one might have been a little bit off the edge, according to CB Buckner. A strike to John Birdie. Playing through the rain, Jerry. What'd you think of that when you did it?
Didn't like it at all. But, worse than rain was wind. That I always felt that way.
This is grounded toward first, and Danny Santana makes the play. On 3 pitches, there's one away.
Nice play by Santana, going to his left and taking maybe a double away from Birdie. Playing off the first base bag. You can see how far he is, and look how much ground he's going to cover to get to that. Fortunately, he got a nice high bounce right there to make it a little bit easier and keep it from going down that right field line.
He's provided a nice boost so far. Joined the team last Friday in Philadelphia. So one away, and it brings up Starling Marte, just off the injured list today, like we said, for the Marlins, who've dealt with all sorts of different injuries, especially to their lineup this year. The rotation's been good, but offensively, they've had to navigate through a lot of that.
Well, that's the National League East all bunched up, aren't they?
This is driven in the air toward left center, back toward the wall, and it caroms off the wall. Kike Hernandez gets to it, and it's a wall ball double in the return for Starling Marte.
Yeah, Marte coming off the injured list, excuse me. He had an 8-game hitting streak prior to going on it. This will extend it to 9 games. It's an 89 cutter that stays up in the zone and no stride at all. Just picks his foot up, puts it back down, and gets a good look at the baseball, finds that gap, and standing in scoring position right now with 1 out.
He had a fractured rib, kept him out for over a month. He's on second here in the top of the first for Jesus Aguilar, the first baseman for the Marlins. A long hold for Perez, and strike 1. 37 RBIs for Aguilar, at the top of the National League leaderboard in that category. Here comes the 0-1. And Perez gets ahead. Now time for the Home Depot getting more done player, and it is Aguilar ahead of Escobar and his teammate Adam Duvall, leading the league in RBIs.
Had Duvall a late scratch from the lineup.
As if Don Mattingly didn't need any more injuries for this Miami team. Red Sox have stayed remarkably healthy throughout the course of the season.
Little cat and mouse game going on.
Lined back up the middle. That is Gonzalez to retire Aguilar. And no movement from Marte.
Boy, perfect positioning right there by Gonzalez. When that ball got by the head of Perez, I thought it was going to be in center field. You look up, and standing right there is Marwin Gonzalez. Right over the glove. It's also very good base running by Marte, not to get knowing exactly where the defense was.
They're not using the flip cards. Jen McCaffrey wrote an article in The Athletic. They're not using those flip cards for defensive positioning this year, but the Red Sox have figured it out defensively nonetheless. So 2 down, and Perez trying to leave Marte at second. Brings up the cleanup man Garrett Cooper. Marlins right fielders had some clutch hits recently, including a walk-off home run.
Has got a 11-game hitting streak going right now.
3 home runs in that stretch over the last couple of weeks. A lot of righties in the lineup against Perez. He starts with ball 1.
Change up down just out of the strike zone. Cooper has never faced Perez in his career.
You mentioned the changeup for Perez. He thought it was good for him his last time out in that start against the Phillies, and has gotten better, like we said, as this season's gone along.
Yeah, low changeups and high fastballs has been working very well for him. Elevating those fastballs in the zone and getting some outs that way.
And he really needs the changeup to be good, because he's not throwing a lot of breaking balls.
No, he's got the cutter, and other than that, you know, it's basically 3 pitches.
Yeah. There are the numbers in the hitting streak that Jerry mentioned for Garrett Cooper. He's ahead 2-0 against Perez here in the first. And that is down 3-0.
You may have the green light right here. You got a left-hander on deck in Dickerson, so it's quite possible you could see a 3-0 green light here, and Perez knows that.
There's a strike at 91.
Well, he was taken all the way. No intentions of swing.
Not even with the rain coming down here. At a pretty steady clip, too, much like that 2-hour and 53-minute delay on Wednesday.
Not quite that hard yet.
3-1 and a full count.
Little cutter right here that picks up the outside corner. You see that late movement on it at 90 miles an hour.
It's the pitch he throws the most. 34% usage for Martin Perez. He's got a couple of ground outs here in the top of the first. Marte had the 1-out double. And with 2 outs, the payoff pitch fouled off. Crowd getting into it again for Martin. Another 3-2, and he struck him out. Perez gets out of a bind in the top of the first. A man at second in the top of the first. Now the Red Sox coming up for the first time. And the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Pretty standard top 5. Hernandez, Verdugo, Martinez, Bogart's the cleanup man. Devers at third, batting 5th. Danny Santana bats 6th and plays 1st. Christian Vasquez off those 3 RBIs the other day in the 7th spot. Marwin Gonzalez at 2nd, batting 8th. And Hunter Renfroe in right, batting 9th against the Marlins starting pitcher who's had 3 very good starts to his big league career, Cody Poteet.
And the defense tonight for the Marlins. They've made 28 errors in 50 games. John Birdie will be at third base. Jose Devers the shortstop. Isan Diaz at second. Jesus Aguilar at first. Left to right, Corey Dickerson, Starling Marte, and Garrett Cooper, with Jorge Alfaro doing the catching for Poteet.
Red Sox coming off 9 runs on Wednesday. And Jerry, you talked about this in the open, that Alex Cora liked what he saw situationally, something he's been harping on going back to spring training.
Yeah, talking about those men in scoring position, making contact, especially with the man at third base and less than 2 outs, getting them home. He likes that opposite field approach that hitters take.
Seen that some from Kike Hernandez. OPS above 700. Alex Cora said he was starting to figure some things out before he went on the injured list. Now in his 9th game back since coming off the IL. 10 for 32 since returning. Couple extra base hits.
What you'll see from Poteet tonight, 4-seam fastball, throws that a lot. Changeup and a slider. Very few curveballs.
He's a 26-year-old from California. Went to UCLA. Made his big league debut 2.5 weeks ago. And now in start number 4, a deep breath, pitching through the rain here at Fenway. His 2-0. There's the strike. Good outings for him at Arizona, at Philadelphia, and then most recently in his outing against the Mets. 7 shutout at home on Sunday. 2-2.
Oh, look at Corey Dickerson out in left field. He's really playing shallow out there. And you see a lot of left-handers do that. Left fielders do that, I should say, because they get that big wall behind them. But he is very shallow. Very shallow out and right, too, for Garrett Cooper.
Got to look at the shift as well against Kike. Poteet's 2-2. And the bat goes flying on a foul ball above the third base dugout.
Wow, that's a weapon. Look out.
Sawed it off right down the middle.
Yeah, right down the middle of the bat.
Break out the spray.
Maybe get some glue and put that one back together in the dugout.
Look out. Stuck the landing. Still trying to grab a good grip as Kike climbs back in. Another 2-2. skies this one outside of third. And into the seats as Devers and Birdie gave chase. These are the numbers in the last 11 games. And again, Cora was saying that he feels like Kike's been doing a nice job and felt that way before he landed on the injured list.
Yeah, and he's been consistent keeping him up there in the leadoff spot. Early in the season, they were looking for change up there maybe, but no, Cora said, no, we're going to continue to lead him off.
Seventh pitch to him is strike 3 called. It's a K to start the night for Cody Poteet.
Looked like a slider that time, and as I said, he doesn't know too many sliders, but this breaking ball goes right to the outside part of the plate, catches him looking for a slider that he saw in that at bat, and the first strikeout of the night for Poteet.
Yeah, it's his third most used pitch behind his four-seamer and his changeup. Don Mattingly did think after his last outing that pitch got better as the outing went along. And as Alex Spear reminds us, as we said, 3 excellent starts to the big league career for Poteet, who begins with a elevated fastball for strike 1 to Alex Verdugo. Boy, it was fun to watch Verdugo the other night on that contact play, making that read quickly coming off third.
Yeah, it looked like he had the contact play was on, and he had a great jump from third base. And he had that play right in front of him, too, so he could see everything that was going on, developing.
It was with Xander Bogaerts at the plate. 0-2. Roller right side. This is Isan Diaz for out number 2. Our key matchup is presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Cody Poteet's had 3 good starts, and he fits right in with what this Marlins rotation has done the last dozen games. A 1.64 as the starting staff.
That's pretty impressive right there. Opponent's average of 177.
We're going to get a look at a rookie tomorrow for the Marlins. Their starting pitcher, Trevor Rogers. A 1.75 ERA for his season in 10 starts. Couple of quick outs for Poteet, and ball 1 to JD Martinez. Jerry, last time I saw you was at the end of the season last year, and my, how things are different for JD.
Oh, very different for JD. And it started in spring. Well, actually, in spring training, it started slow for him.
Yeah.
And then he picked it up toward the last week of spring training and has really swung the bat well.
Good take off the edge.
Tell me, how many games did you do from your bedroom over the winter? And
we're at like 50.
50 games.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
From my bedroom in my apartment out in Chicago. What a world.
Unbelievable.
A live baseball game. We're here at Fenway. Although Watertown has served you guys quite well. I loved popping in there for a few last year.
Oh, that was great. It's been great. No travel's always great.
Cuban sandwiches at the ready for you.
There aren't too many this year yet. Just a couple.
Eck might have depleted the supply. Martinez pops this one up toward the second base bag, and that's Diaz to make it a 1-2-3 inning for Poteet in the first.
Billy and Jenny head to Bow Market in Somerville to explore the outdoor food hall and do a little shopping. Catch Dining Playbook tomorrow morning at 9 on Nesson, driven by New England Chevy dealers.
Sandy León is back at Fenway Park. He is the DH tonight for the Marlins. They just played a very nice video, and Alex Cora said earlier today he hoped it would be an ovation all weekend for Sandy.
Great guy. Very valuable guy for the Red Sox for a number of years.
Yeah.
And very popular member of the Red Sox, especially with his teammates.
You heard what Jemai said earlier, what Christian Vasquez had to say, how supportive Sandy was to Vasquez. Guys who had played against each other in the minors coming up. We go to the second with no score, and Corey Dickerson checked his swing on the first pitch of the inning from Martin Perez. The numbers for Dickerson, 32-year-old from Mississippi. Former AL All-Star back in 2017 with the Rays. Off the edge, 2-0.
Dickerson's way off that plate. He really is. Threw that first pitch inside, way inside, then tried to go back to the outside corner.
Vasquez set up away again. Why not? With the way Dickerson's position. Perez gave up the 1-out double in the first. Got a ground out and a strikeout from there. And this is hit left side past the dive of Bogarts into left. Second hit for the Marlins. A leadoff single for Dickerson.
Yeah, Dickerson going the other way, and Xander going into I don't know if it's a slide or a dive, but couldn't get to it. So the leadoff single by Dickerson here in the second inning.
NESN.com/predict the game. Will Danny Santana, with 3 of them already, have an extra base hit tonight? Yes or no?
I'll say yes.
He's been hot since joining the club. Pretty big prize tonight on the line as well, Jerry.
Oh, I hope I win it.
Gonna hang it up. Man aboard for Jorge Alfaro. If you didn't hear it from Jemai Webster, a signed Jerry Remy jersey. Man.
Yeah.
Hot ticket item.
All our analysts have signed shirts, and they've been prizes on Fridays. I think Eck was last week.
Here comes the 0-1. That misses from Perez inside. You heard TC and Lenny talking about it on the pregame show. You know what you're going to get from Martin Perez. He's going to keep you in the ball game pretty much every time out.
And he's been a guy they've been getting a lot of runs for, too.
Yeah, last couple they've put up 8 each in both of those. Last 5 starts for Martin, a 2.22 ERA and 28+ innings, with 29 punch outs in that stretch. Now making his 10th start of the season. But the leadoff man aboard. 2 balls and a strike on Alfaro. Drives this one to deep right field, sending Renfroe back to the wall, and it's gone. 2-run shot the opposite way for Jorge Alfaro, with a salute to his bullpen, and the Marlins take the lead.
Alfaro got moved up in the lineup. When they added Sandy Leon to the lineup, they put him in the 8th spot. They moved Alfaro up into the 6th spot, and he responds with a home run. Looked like I don't know if that was a cut fastball or a straight fastball, but he inside outside shows an awful lot of power going to the opposite field between the raindrops. Marlins 11th in the league in home runs, but a big one right there.
First of the season for the 27-year-old catcher. Gets the hugs in the dugout. His 4th game since coming back off the injured list. Missed a lot of time with a hamstring injury. Just got activated on Monday. And it's not a Marlins team that offensively is going to mash you with homers.
No, you know, and they're very. They don't hit a lot of home runs. They're 13th in the league in home runs, although they just hit one now. They're 14th in the league in walks and 12th and 13th in strikeouts.
High and tight on Isan Diaz.
Also very important on a night like this was raining to score early in the ball game.
Diaz with a slow roller to second for Marwin Gonzalez to retire him for the first out. That'll bring up Sandy Leon. Started the year not on the Marlins big league roster. Got activated in late April, a late add to the lineup. And the crowd letting him hear it here at Fenway. DHing as that late addition. It's been a thin Marlins bench. Saw the numbers for Leon. Takes strike one. It's neat listening to both Alex Cora and Christian Vasquez talk about him and their relationship and how it evolved in 2018 when he got toward the postseason and as Vasquez was emerging.
Yeah, it's always tough. You know, you get a veteran guy and you get this young, good catcher coming up, and you realize that someday he's probably going to take your position, and they did have a great relationship. I think Leon helped him tremendously.
You saw how many games he started behind the plate in his time with the Red Sox, and he singles the opposite way for a one-out knock.
It's a changeup that time from Perez and just reaches out, punches it towards second base, picks up the base hit. 3 hits, including the home run in this inning off Perez. That's not a bad pitch. That pitch is down. It's on the outside part of the plate. Leon just reaches out and strokes it to the opposite field for the base hit.
Three hits, like you said, in a span of 4 batters, and 4 knocks overall for Miami here out of the gates within the first 30 pitches from Martin Perez. This is a roller from Jose Devers. Perez to second. Bogarts' throw not in time to get 2.
Looks like a little confusion. Perez didn't know who to throw the ball to. There was really nobody at second base, and it was Bogarts who was eventually covered. And by that time, it was much too late to turn a double play. Now watch the middle infielders. Perez looking for somebody. Now it was Bogarts that had it all the way. It was his job to be over there, and Perez didn't see him there, so didn't throw it right away. And by that time they don't have a chance to turn it over.
Yeah, it looked like Bogarts was ready for it on the run.
On the run, yeah.
Maybe the sight line of Marwin Gonzalez behind the bag too. Maybe that altered something for Martin. In any event, that is Jose Devers who is aboard, the cousin of Rafi over at third for the Sox. The scouting report relayed from Alex Cora. He is very much a free swinger as well. Back to the top for John Birdie. Grounded out to Danny Santana at first to start the ball game. Two down here, top of the second. 2 runs in for the Marlins on the 2-run shot the opposite way from Jorge Alfaro. Perez ready with a 1-1. Elevated at 93.
That's that high fastball. It's been very effective for him. Up around the letters. Not overpowering, 93 miles an hour, but up in that area, very tough to hit.
Above the barrel from Perez, like so many pitchers in this day and age. Now the 1-2. Up and in and missing again at 93.
Yeah, tried it upstairs again, but this time inside.
Perez got a strikeout of Cooper to end the first. Trying to put away Birdie here in the second. 2-2. Strike 3 called. A backwards K to end the second. History brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 2000 May 28th. Trot Nixon with a 2-run shot in the 9th. It was Pedro and the Rocket in the Bronx. close there at the end. Tino Martinez ground out to finish it off. Pedro, 128 pitches in that one.
Wow.
Roger Clemens, 127.
No, you don't see that much anymore.
No.
Hardly at all. Two great pitches going after each other in that one.
Primetime game. Packed house in the Bronx. It's going to be packed starting tomorrow at Fenway. Sox went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first, and Xander Bogaerts leads off the second. Xander's talked about this when Fenway is full. He loves talking with fans when he's in the on-deck circle, and he'll get a taste of that beginning tomorrow. He's behind as he fouls that one off, making a ball and a strike from Cody Poteet. You see the note from Alex Spear. You've got Bogaerts, Devers, Martinez. Martinez 3, Bogaerts here in the cleanup spot, Devers on deck. Those are 3 guys, all top 5 in the American League in OPS. 1-1. Talked about the contact play. Verdugo scoring from third. It was Bogaerts who just did his job the other night on Wednesday in the win over the Braves. Swings through that. 2-2.
Looked like a little slider that time. It stayed inside. It was probably supposed to be down and away, and that's one that Xander, if they had leave it inside, he usually hits pretty hard. Pulled off that ball just a little bit.
Rain still falling, and the 2-2. Full count. Picked up a little, would you say, rain-wise here?
Yeah, it has. It has just a little bit over the last inning, half inning.
Payoff pitch from Poteet is bounced foul. We will stay optimistic, though.
Absolutely.
We're not here to bring pessimism.
After the other night,
anything's going to feel better than a 3-hour delay.
Yeah.
What'd you finish at, like 1? You're home by?
I don't know what time it was.
1:30 maybe?
Got to bed about 2:30, I think.
Oof. Three-two again, and Bogaerts strikes out. Now time for the power hitter, presented by Eversource, the most responsible energy company in America, and these are the major league ranks for Rafael Devers, leading all of baseball in RBIs. Seems like he's in one of those stretches right now, Jerry, where it's just bullet after bullet.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if he pulls the ball, goes to the opposite field. He's hitting rockets all over the ballpark. Center field. Looking down at his cousin right now, I believe.
I think so. He's smiling at him.
Yeah, he's going to drop a bunt on him.
Which he has been trying to do, as you've been pointing out recently. And Rafi is first pitch swinging with his cousin Jose playing short. He's in the shift right now for the Marlins. Separated by 3 years, both out of the Dominican. Jose Devers said this week they've never played against each other, but he was excited for this. A 1. Wave and a miss on 95. Rafi 2 for 4 on Wednesday, the home run and a double, and he goes down swinging on 95 again from Poteet, who is fan 3.
Yeah, just basically stay with the fastball that time when he got ahead of Devers and put him away with the strikeout. Fastball up and away. That's how a lot of pitchers try to pitch Devers when they get ahead of him. High fastballs away from him. And if he makes contact, well, sometimes he'll pop it up, or sometimes he'll hit it hard off the wall. So the cousin wins that first battle.
All smiles afterward. 2 away for Danny Santana. And just back to Devers. I mean, you mentioned it. elevated fastballs, it seems that he's been faring better with off-speed stuff than he has been with fastballs.
Yeah, you know, and they try to elevate on him like they do with everybody in the league, and it's a tough pitch to catch up to. When they can bring it down, though, just about 4 or 5 inches, he'll hit a rocket off that wall or into the monster seats as hard as he will if he pull one in the bullpen.
Yeah, his double on Wednesday was on a fastball, shot at Oppo. That's a called strike on Santana.
Looked like a changeup that time. 87 miles an hour, right at the bottom of the strike zone inside.
1-2 from Poteet is fouled off. And from the sounds of it, a nice play made. And the shift against Santana, playing in his 6th game with the Sox. Another 1-2. Pops this one up over toward the Marlins dugout and into the seats. We had the predictive question, will there be an extra base hit for Danny Santana? He started off in a great way in Philadelphia, a couple of home runs those first 2 games.
Yeah, then pulling a triple right down the right field line here at Fenway. So that's why I say he can do it.
Optimism all over the place as he takes ball 2. I know you were looking at his foot speed on that triple in particular.
I was. I saw how the ball was going, and I actually lost it when it stopped under the. But I wanted to see him run because they've been telling me how well he runs, and he does run very well. He gets around those bases pretty good.
2-2. Bounces this one into the shift. That's Devers. And a pick not made by Aguilar. It caroms over the dugout, so Santana will get second.
That's a big break. That should have been the 3rd out of the inning right there, but not a good throw from Devers. Sometimes in these conditions that ball comes off the grass pretty wet and you don't get a good handle on it. It looked like that may have happened to him that time. I mean, he's right near the second base bag, but he just let it fly, and Santana safe at first base, I'm sure, on the error. Ball's wet.
And probably just heavier as well. So that's how the Red Sox get their first base runner here in the bottom of the 2nd, down 2-0 in the opener of the 3-game series with the Marlins in town. And Christian Vasquez climbs in back up to the 7th spot. He was down in the 8 hole on Wednesday when he drove in 3. Poteet had been rolling along. 1-2-3 first on just 14 pitches. A couple of Ks here in the 2nd before the error on Devers. And now a ball and a strike on Vasquez. You were talking about his swing, Jerry, off the top. When he's going the other way, he can be productive.
Yeah, he's really going good when he's going the other way, especially with men in scoring position.
Alex Cora has been harping on that so much over the course of this season, back to spring training as well.
Yeah, he wants to be a complete offensive ball club, where they're moving guys along, getting them in from third base with less than 2 outs, just making contact more.
Alex said afterward, after the win Wednesday, it was night and day what they did situationally offensively. A couple of catchers commiserating. Poteet's got the stash working. That is for sure. 2 outs, man at second. He deals and he strikes out Vasquez. 3 Ks in the inning for Cody Poteet.
And welcome back, everybody, inside Fenway Park. The rain really starting to get going here as the Miami Marlins lead the Red Sox 2-0 here in the top of the third. And Mike and Jerry, you guys talking about that familial connection between Rafael Devers and his first cousin, Jose. Jose is his dad's brother, or his dad's first son. So their first cousins grew up playing in Semana, the Dominican Republic. And Devers told me that he's got speed, but he certainly has pop. He says when they were kids, he used to play with the bigger kids because he was so talented as well. And I joked with him, hey, are you guys going to be taking over as a new family of baseball like the Coras? And Devers bust out in this huge laugh, and he said, I don't know, maybe, because Jose has 3 brothers. They all play baseball. Rafi has a little brother. He also plays baseball. And Devers, his cousin, Jose, came over to the Marlins with the Giancarlo Stanton trade. And you know what, guys? His first major league hit was off Max Scherzer. So just like Rafi, they can hit velocity. It runs in the family.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, Jeremiah. Getting your first knock off Max Scherzer. Jose came up in late April, made his big league debut. Sounds like they've got quite the extended family as well, ball players. Third inning begins with Starling Marte fouling one off. Alex Cora was talking before the game about Jose Devers, and when the Red Sox were in Texas earlier this year was when Jose got called up, and Rafael stayed up late to watch the game, and Rafael apparently told AC that Jose saw 9 pitches and he swung at all 9 of them, which sounds a lot like Rafi.
Patience is not a virtue in the Devers family.
And it has served them well to this point. Field was getting some maintenance between half innings there. Perez checking his footing as he's ahead 0-2 against the Marlins 2-hitter Marte.
Very defensive swing right there, almost like he didn't expect to get a fastball on that count.
Aguilar on deck. Just misses in from Perez at 91. Martinez ended each of the first couple of innings with strikeouts. Got Cooper swinging to end the first, Birdie looking to end the second. And time called. Perez picks one out, up and away, 2-2.
I shook off the fastball upstairs and wanted the changeup, but the changeup ended up way upstairs. Little sinker.
Another defensive swing.
A lot of times when a guy's been on a disabled list, you know, it's a little bit hard sometimes to pick up the breaking pitches when you get back. He kind of locked in on fastballs, and we'll see how they attack him here on this 2-2 count. Gonna go to cutter away.
2-2, and that's fouled off at the top of the zone. And just the more you see of breaking pitches once you get back off the injured
list. It seems that way. It seems like, you know, you get up a fastball from batting practice and all that stuff, and you don't see a lot of, obviously, off-speed breaking pitches in batting practice, so makes it for a major adjustment when you get back in the game if you've missed a lot of time. Fastball in.
2-2, and he got him. 93, and that is paint from Perez.
Good job by Perez. You know, shows him something outside and right back inside with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. Couldn't do much with that if he had swung at it. Didn't expect it in there. Was looking away, leaning out over the plate.
Good battle from Marte, but he goes down via the punch out. And one away for Jesus Aguilar. Grounded out to Marwin Gonzalez at second his first time. Oh, we were speaking of Rafael Devers. This guy Aguilar is similar in terms of his facial expressions, his personality when he's out there. He's going to give you a lot of shots if you're Mike Narachi directing this game that you can have some fun with. 0-2. He was an all-star in 2018 with the Brewers, now in his second year with the Marlins. Good year for him last year. Of course, that was a Marlins team that went to the playoffs and took down the Cubs.
Yeah, surprise of the year last year, the Marlins.
Yeah. Seemed like they really embraced that underdog mentality over the course of that funky 60-game season.
And they had so many COVID episodes early in the season.
0-2. This is in. Don Mattingly, the skipper, 6th year. Spent 5 years as the Dodgers manager before that. Talked about the Marlins injuries, and that's been the case up and down the NL East.
Ooh, whoa. Pretty good changeup right there. Perez staring in. He wanted that real bad.
A little nod back there, too.
Perfect pitch here by Perez. That's an out pitch. It was pulled up. Let's see if it shatters the glass. Oh, that's a strike.
The window comes crashing down. Two, and that is low.
Figured he'd try it again, see if he got the call this time, but that was a little bit too low.
I don't remember the window being in use as much last year.
We wanted to break on a strikeout. We wanted to break, shatter.
With the full sound effects.
Yeah, sound effects, everything. All the animation. Change up.
The payoff is golfed down the line and foul.
Made a little divot down there. Replace all divots, please, at Fenway Park.
Perez started this third with a strikeout. Nobody on for the Marlins, leading 2-0, and fouled off by Aguilar. Garrett Cooper on deck. .50 pitches in for Martin in his 10th start of the season. Strike 3 called. 3 straight Ks now for Perez.
Yeah, it looks like, CB Buckner behind the plate is calling him inside and outside tonight, and not up and down. That ball appeared to be inside, but strike 3 call by CB Buckner, and surprising Aguilar. But it might have been a little makeup from the one that he probably missed earlier.
Yeah, on the changeup. Sounded like Aguilar on his way back was asking if it hit the corner, maybe.
Yeah.
In any event, couple of Ks to start this inning for Perez, who misses with ball 1 to Garrett Cooper, a strikeout victim on a cutter in the first. .1-0 on the way. Driven toward right, sending Renfroe toward the line to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 third for Perez. Brought to you by Plymouth Rock Assurance, the official auto and home insurance provider of the Boston Red Sox. and by William Rabus, the official real estate company of the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, it's a wet one here at Fenway, kicking off the weekend series between the Sox and the Marlins as we go to the bottom of the third with the Red Sox trailing Miami 2-0 and coming up with 8-9-1. With Jerry Remy and Jemai Webster, Mike Monaco filling in this weekend for Dave O'Brien, who will be back on Monday. Our entire Nesson crew with you. Bottom of this Sox lineup starting with Marwin Gonzalez here out of the 8th spot against Cody Poteet. And Marwin goes first pitch swinging and pops it up. And Isan Diaz makes the play for out number 1.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Lenny will break down the game. You'll hear from Martin Perez and Alex Cora. Who but WB Mason?
They were talking pregame about the roster move that actually came in yesterday from the Red Sox. Hunter Renfroe's in right. He's in the 9 spot. Franchi Cordero, seen him a lot in the outfield for the Red Sox, down to AAA Worcester.
Yeah, just needs to get down there and get some at bats and, you know, get his swing straightened out. Tough stretch for him up here. They figured out he couldn't hit right now high fastballs. They threw him a lot of breaking balls down in the dirt. And early in the season, especially, he was really in between. We saw that one monster home run that he hit in Philadelphia.
Renfroe pulls this one to left, and that is off the wall. Dickerson gets to it. His throw to second does not beat Renfroe. A wall ball double here in the 3rd.
Looked like it's some type of breaking ball. It might have been a slider. We'll see. Yes, it was a slider, and not that bad. Reached out across the plate, hooked it, got it off the wall, and able to stretch it into the double. Get in scoring position here with 1 out. Well, you slide in that, you slide in almost mud, right? You don't go very far.
You're going to stick on that landing. Renfroe coming off the home run and the double on Wednesday in the win over the Braves. Doubles his first time here, and that is strike 1 off the edge to Kike Hernandez. Struck out his first time. Rainy night, maybe the zone perhaps a little bit wider. That's definitively inside to Kike.
And College Fable's not a third base coach. You got to be really conscious of how shallow Dickerson is out in left field. Any ground ball out there is no guarantee that Renfroe's going to be able to score.
1-1. Caught by Alfaro. Didn't fake out Renfroe. Cody Poteet in his 4th major league start. Just gave up his first hit of this one to Renfroe. Two-1 to Hernandez. That's up high. 3 balls and a strike now.
Yeah, by the way, nobody in this Red Sox lineup prior to tonight had seen Cody Poteet. So getting their second look at him now as they head through the second time through the lineup.
Verdugo on deck.
Just on tape.
3-1. And a 5-pitch walk worked by Kike, and there's 2 aboard for the Sox. That can play into it a little bit, right? With a guy coming up for the first time, and
yeah,
there's
you've
not as
never
much
seen
of a
the
bug
guy.
on
I mean,
him.
you can watch him on video, but it's not the same, obviously, as being in the batter's box and seeing what his fastball does and how his breaking balls move. And it certainly helps, but there's nothing like being in the box to see the pitcher and get an idea. And he kind of spread it around the dugout a little bit, you know, just how the ball moves or what it does and how the velocity looks.
You saw the numbers for Alex Verdugo's batting stats presented by Plymouth Rock Assurance, the official auto and home insurance provider of the Boston Red Sox. He's getting his second look here at Poteet. Grounded out to second his first time in the first inning, and he goes first pitch swinging to that shallow spot for Dickerson in left to put it away for out number 2. So it's up to JD Martinez here in the third with the Red Sox down a pair. Popped to second to end the first inning. First pitch. Fouled back. JD has come through already with some of the big swings of this Red Sox season. There was last week against the Blue Jays, early on in April against the Rays to walk it off in the 12th. Saw the numbers in spots like this. 0-1. Yanked foul by Fabulous. Renfroe doubled. He's at second. Kike Hernandez walked. He's at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Poteet's 0-2. Spoiled.
Good spoil right there.
Comforts of Home is presented by Bernie and Phil's during the Memorial Day savings event. Save up to 20% and get free delivery to your door. Shop in store or online. JD Martinez, his last 18 games here at Fenway, hitting .343 with some extra base power.
Home cooking.
Has served him well. Came in with the OPS overall right above 960. Another 0-2 to him. And he pulls this one to left center field. Back toward the wall. And that'll drive in 2. Renfroe scores from second. Hernandez from first. And JD Martinez ties the ball game.
Oh, did he ever do a nice job staying back on a changeup that time and put a charge in it off that left field wall. There's the off-speed pitch, the changeup. It stays right about knee-high, and Martinez absolutely crushes this ball in the gap. So big 2-out base hit here, a double, I should say, for Martinez to tie this one up at 2. RBIs number 38 and 39 for him on the season.
Exit velo 108. That was stung by JD. Brings up Xander Bogaerts. And 2 strikes, 2 outs. I mean, you got to love that, staying back enough.
No, man, that was, you know, that's an off-speed pitch too that he just waited on beautifully.
In scoring position now for Xander. Struck out on a slider from Poteet to begin the second, his first time. .1-0 pitch. So here's Poteet. 3 starts coming into tonight, have given up 2 earned runs in total in those 3 starts, and on 1 swing, JD Martinez does the same. Great outing his last time out. 93 pitches to get through 7 shutout against the Mets. after checking out his study guide inside the cap. Ready to work again. A 1-1. Bogart swings through it.
Got him on a breaking ball last time up too, and didn't have a real good swing at that pitch right there.
Devers would be next. See what Poteet goes back to here. 2 outs, man at second. The 1-2. Check swing roller to Aguilar to end the inning after the Red Sox tied on the swing from JD. Trust relationship is brought to you by Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters. And the Marlins GM is Kim Ng, who made history. First woman to run a baseball operations department, believed to be the first woman hired to the GM position by any of the pro men's sports teams in North America. She's had a wonderful career all around this sport of baseball.
Congratulations to her. That's a great accomplishment.
Some Red Sox ties as well. Raquel Ferreira, of course, just the 4th woman a couple of years ago to hold the title of assistant GM in a baseball operations department in Major League Baseball. And Elaine Stewart, who is currently a Red Sox vice president, senior club counsel, back in 1990, she got named assistant GM of the Red Sox. And at the time, it was the highest ranking role for a woman in baseball operations. She was 26 years old at the time.
That's amazing. Still with the organization.
Yeah. We saw Alex Cora chatting with Kim Ng down on the field before the game during batting practice.
All the cameras are out. The paparazzi was out.
There she is, been traveling with the team. And she has pieced together a Marlins team that, as we've alluded to a few times, has had to deal with all sorts of injuries. And she shored up the bullpen on this club as well. It's been a big spot that has caused trouble the last few years, but much better here in 2021 as the Marlins came into this right around the 500 mark, 4th place in the NL East, a half game behind both the Phillies and the Braves, and then 3 games back at the start of the day of the first place Mets. This is pulled by Corey Dickerson into right field for a base hit. That's how he greets Martin Perez in the 4th.
Now Dickerson 2 for 2 on the night. Got a hit on a changeup, it looked like, in the 2nd inning, and now this appeared to be a fastball that was running back in. Probably off the plate a little bit inside. That's how far he stands off the plate. Could handle a pitch like that and pull it.
Jerry, in relation to him, where were you standing in the box?
Much closer than that. Yeah, I couldn't reach home plate with my arms. I had to be on top of home plate.
Neither of the two of us blessed in the height department. Certainly not wingspan either. Jorge Alfaro grounds it to short. Bogaerts flips. Marwin's turn for 2 in time. 6-4-3.
That takes care of that hit in a hurry. 1 pitch. Right at Xander. Nice little underhand flip to Gonzalez, and he really took his time out there. He knew he had plenty of time. With Alfaro going down the line, make sure he gets a good grip on the baseball and a good throw to first base.
So 2 down, bases empty, and a 2-2 game here in the 4th. Brings up Isan Diaz, who takes strike 1. Another predictive question. We had a couple early on talking about Devers with RBIs, extra base hits perhaps for Danny Santana. We'll get you that one in a moment as Perez powers ahead, 0-2. Diaz grounded out to second base his first time. Perez looking for a quick inning. Martin dealt with a lot of traffic, as Alex Cora always likes to put it, first and the 2nd inning in particular, but had a 1-2-3 third, just got the double play ball for 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th. And ahead of Diaz, 0-2. He deals.
That's one that's, it's close. It's been going that way a few times tonight. The strikes, the inside, the outside pitch, but Perez wanted it, but it was definitely outside.
CB Buckner behind the plate. 1-2. Grounded to short. Bogarts on the backhand. And 3 up, 3 down for Perez in the 4th.
Well, it's kids opening weekend at Fenway. Get 1 free kids ticket with the purchase of an adult ticket for tomorrow and Sunday's games. Use code CALLINGALLKIDS at checkout to take advantage of this offer.
A lot of youngsters in the building tonight on a rainy one, but they're probably a little less deterred by the rain. Here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. A lot of maintenance from the grounds crew in between innings. Some smiles nonetheless here at the Fens. They had to start snipping all the zip ties from all the seats that have been zip tied.
Yeah.
To close up shop here.
Yeah, a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Had to start before the game today. Just not enough time if you wait till after the game tonight before a 4 o'clock start tomorrow, scheduled for the middle game of the weekend series. From about 12% to 25% and to 100% capacity tomorrow. It'll be a welcome sight. Well, Rafael Devers getting all situated in the box. Cody Poteet on the bump still for the Marlins and ready to work. Alex Verdugo was talking the other day about maybe not being at 100% and you just have to grind through it. That's kind of like the weather tonight. You just got to tough this out and play through.
Yeah, this has been, it's not pleasant.
2-0.
Grounds crew doing a great job between innings, going out, going over the infield, the mound, where the hitters hit. Make sure that's not slippery.
We were on Dave Meller watch before the game.
He's always on that telephone, man. He's checking the forecast from all kind of different people, I'm sure.
Can you imagine how many different calls he's getting to?
Man.
And how many people he's got to answer to? Not a low stress situation. That's a strike. 2-2 on Rafi. Danny Santana on deck. Two and a strikeout. Devers goes down via the punch out swinging to start the bottom of the 4th.
Now the first time he struck out was on a high fastball. That one was a little bit inside corner, I should say, and still no contact from Devers. Oh, that shattered the right pane, left pane.
Crushed. Santana pulls one foul down the line. Yeah, it's fastballs again for Devers as it chases on in the seats. And the souvenir secured.
And he's all wet, soaking wet, climbing over the seats. Anything to get a baseball, right?
Jacket be darned. We got ponchos out everywhere, umbrellas here. On a rainy Friday night at Fenway. See, Santana reached on the error his first time. That misses inside from Poteet. Where's Zach when you need him for a stash like that? You two could get a lot of mileage out of Cody Poteet's Mustang.
Looks like you could fill it a little bit more than what it is right now, you know? I'm going to be just started this a little while ago.
Not the fullest. 2-1. Little trickler foul. '26-year-old from California. We told you his 4th major league start. Big league debut 2.5 weeks ago. 2019 was the last full minor league season. That was the first time he had reached AAA, and he struggled once he got to that level. But he has come on over the last couple of years, and he strikes out Santana. He's got a half dozen Ks.
Yeah, and a lot of them, most of them with his fastball too. Challenging that time. The fastball up and in to Santana. They're actually up and out over. So the elevation of the fastball once again getting the strikeout.
A predictive question with a Jerry jersey hanging in the balance tonight. How many batters will Martin Perez strike out in the 5th inning? Struck out 2 in the 3rd, didn't punch anyone out in the 4th, but worked quickly, and it looks like he's settling in.
As the numbers come rolling in the different precincts.
Polls remain open. 2 down for Christian Vasquez. Struck out swinging his first time to end the 2nd. That was the 4th of the 6 Ks for Cody Poteet. Vasquez drives this one deep to right with Cooper back, spinning around, and he hangs on to it up near the warning track. Inning over. Time now for our high-strength steel play, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealer.
That ball hit very well by Vasquez to the opposite field, but Gary Cooper got himself spun around a little bit and able to reach out to take extra bases away. Get a little smile on his face, and they get a big smile because they got the baseball. A couple of man hugs right there.
Wow. They're not getting cheated out there.
No, a baseball. This is a baseball.
On a ball that you said was struck pretty well by Vasquez. 101 off the bat. An expected batting average of .660, meaning about 2/3 of the time with that type of contact, that's a hit for Christian Vasquez. Sandy Leon leading off, singled the opposite way his first time back in the 2nd, with Perez going back to work after he had an 8-pitch 4th inning thanks to the double play ball. And Sandy pulls this one to left center with Kike Hernandez on the move for out number 1. So 1 away, no one on for Jose Devers out of the 9 spot for the Marlins, the shortstop who reached on the fielder's choice his first time. And much like Rafi, it appears he is all smiles during the course of a baseball game. Corners in, he squares and pulls back on ball 1.
Yeah, Rafi knows that. He was in very shallow at third base, trying to take the bunt away. Having a little fun with each other, aren't they?
Is that blowing him a kiss as he climbs in? Rafi was looking out in Jose's direction his first time as well when he climbed in back in the 2nd inning. 3 years apart. Big league debut came in late April for Jose Devers. Highest level he had reached in the minors before this year was high A ball.
Wow.
Rolls it right side. Nice pick on the backhand by Danny Santana for out number 2.
Well, that's not easy because that ball picks up speed once it hits that wet grass. And I'll tell you what, Santana had to show some quick hands to make that play. He's playing in second hop. He has to reach up for it and then get the out at first base. Nice play. A lot tougher than people think when you're playing in these conditions.
Left a pretty good sized skid mark as well, with the cleat making the stop there. So 2 down, back to the top for John Birdie. 0 for 2 so far. Takes up high. Ground out to Santana to start the ball game, and then a strikeout looking on a Martin Perez fastball in the second. Perez working quickly here in the 5th.
Rain seems to be intensifying a little bit here at Fenway.
It started before the ball game, and it has not let up at any point.
Whoa,
that misses. As Adam Ottavino gets up in the pen with Perez at 69 pitches.
Yeah, this is different. Ottavino up in the 5th inning. You know, with the conditions the way they are, you know, you want to have the lead after 5, and you take it from there because you just don't know how long this game's going to go. And the intentions of playing the whole thing, but it's coming down pretty good right now. Real good.
Dave Meller right beyond Alex Cora as this is lifted to right. Renfroe backpedaling to make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Martin Perez through the raindrops in the 5th. Now to the road ahead. The Red Sox upcoming schedule presented by John Hancock, helping families like yours for over 150 years. Tonight starting 10 games in 10 days for the Sox, who are off to Houston and then meeting up with the Yankees in the Bronx.
Be a tough stretch.
Houston again on the back end of it as the rain continues to fall here at Fenway on this Friday night. And we saw what the Red Sox think, getting Adam Ottavino up. You get another look at head groundskeeper Dave Meller. Perez at 71 pitches. And just to be blunt about it, Jerry, I mean, the forecast also concerning the next couple of days as well. So you got to factor that in.
I think that's why it's so important that they, you know, try to get this one in tonight, which they are getting it in. I think quick runs right here may be a benefit for somebody because I don't know if this is we're gonna make it.
Well, Marwin Gonzalez will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. The next runs in this game extra important. Marwin popped to second, his first time leading off the 3rd. Cody Poteet's first pitch misses for ball 1. Gonzalez, Hunter Renfroe, and then the leadoff man Kike Hernandez due here in the 5th. The 2 hits for the Red Sox, both back in the 3rd. Up and out, 2-0. That is some blood on the pants and on the knuckle too of Cody Poteet, it looked like.
Tried that changeup. That's supposed to be one of his best pitches, and we haven't seen an awful lot of that tonight.
It's wet to begin with, and then factor in the blood as well for Poteet. Goes back to the fastball on 3-0. Yeah, changeup has been the big secondary for him over his first 3 big league starts. Here's his 3-1. And it's a leadoff walk, so Marwin Gonzalez gets aboard here in the bottom of the 5th with the rain falling in a 2-2 game.
Catch a condensed 2-hour version of this Red Sox game at midnight on Sox and 2, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. the official hot tee of the Red Sox.
So leadoff man aboard, and it brings up Renfroe. Pulled a double off the wall in the third. First pitch, swinging and coming up empty. You've made this point a few times with Renfroe recently, doing a nice job going the other way.
Yeah, he's made an effort to do that, you know, where a lot of times in the past he's strictly been a pull hitter.
Oh, 1 to him.
They still play the shift, obviously, though, on him and on the left side of the infield. Boy, that infield's looking wet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Especially on that left side. One. Fouled back on a fastball at 93. $4 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock Sunday. Next two in this series. 1-2 to Renfroe. Up and in at 93. To your point on going the other way, it's the highest percentage that Hunter Renfroe, as you get a look at Kike Hernandez on deck, has gone the opposite way throughout his career. He's doing it a lot more than he was with the Rays and Padres, and he spoils another.
Yeah, it's kind of been a theme for the Red Sox, and you know, since spring training started. He goes the other way on the ground right now. I mean, there's nobody over there. They're all in the shift.
Gonzalez on at first. 2-2 to Renfroe, and the count runs full. This is the radar, and what's coming?
Looks like rain.
With a side of rain. All over the Commonwealth. That was a leadoff walk. Now full count pitch, and Renfroe yanks this one to left as well, and that bangs off the wall. Marwin Gonzalez goes first to third, and a pair of doubles for Hunter Renfroe.
I got a breaking ball again, and he rifles it down that left field line. Now this could be a big inning for the Red Sox. As that spinner, not doing very much, staying right over the plate, and Renfroe rips it down that left field line. So very quickly, with nobody out, a second and third situation. And in these conditions, they're going to have to bring that infield in. There's no question about it.
Six doubles all season coming in for Hunter Renfroe, and he's got 2 over the last 3 innings. And we get a conference at the mound between the catcher Alfaro Poteet, the starter, and the infield for the Marlins. That is Anthony Bender up in the bullpen. Mel Stottlemyre Jr., pitching coach for the Marlins. Probably trying to buy a little time here with Poteet not showing the same stuff here in the 5th against the first 2 he's faced.
And CB Buckner, the home plate umpire, going out trying to rush this up a little bit.
He's punched out a half dozen. Working here into the 5th in his 4th career start. And a 2-2 ball game. Back to the top now for Kike Hernandez. Struck out his first time, and then he walked and came in on the 2-run double from JD in the third.
This is where you really need the contact right here. Second and third, nobody out.
Infield not all the way in behind Poteet. Gonzalez leads off third. Poteet's first. Kike first pitch swinging, pops it up by the first base bag, and Aguilar is there looking up into the raindrops for out number 1. So it brings in Alex Verdugo.
Now they switch over pretty much straight up in the infield and just about 3 or 4 steps back from the grass.
Two aboard here for Verdugo with 1 away in the 5th, and he pulls one to right, sending Cooper back, and that ball's gone. It's a 3-run shot for Alex Verdugo, and the Red Sox lead in the 5th.
Oh, he didn't wait for that very long. He got a breaking ball on the first pitch and launched it. Curveball. And that ball screamed out of here. Up over the bullpen area, first row out of the bullpen. That's a shot.
The Red Sox first home run is brought to you by Audi and the all-new 2021 Audi e-tron, and Doogie fired up and taking the ride. Bender's coming in. Poteet gave it up. The Red Sox lead in the 5th. We're back after this. Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run this season. All donations raised stay local to support Boston Children's Hospital. And what a swing from Alex Verdugo. 109 off the bat, Jerry. That was torch.
Yeah, he got a breaking ball, a curveball, and he had that slight uppercut swing on it, and he just launched it over that bullpen area from the first row after the bullpen. You see the congratulations from Martin Perez. He did his job in the ball game tonight.
And gets a conversation with Alex Cora after it, with the rain still falling steadily here at Fenway. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Red Sox have the lead now, 5-2. Anthony Bender comes on out of the Marlins pen to face JD Martinez, swinging through the fastball.
Yeah, I see a lot of those sinkers and sliders from Bender. Pretty good numbers, 9 2/3, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts.
Ever since he came up in early May, made his big league debut 3.5 weeks ago. 26-year-old from California. Boy, you just think about what that's going to be like when there's a full house, and Verdugo in particular, with the way that he plays.
Yeah, I think the fans are going to really appreciate him. I think they already do when they get to see him play live and in person, and I think they're going to appreciate the way he goes about the game. Even more than they do now.
Poteet can only look on after 4 1/3, all 5 earned. And Verdugo still holding court.
He can chirp. He can chirp. That's, good or bad.
JD flares one and drops it into left for his second hit of the ball game.
Got a slider that time. Looked like it was a little bit toward the end of the bat, but drops it in front of Corey Dickerson, who was way over in left center field and shallow. There's that slider. There's the end of the bat. Matter of fact, that bat may not be usable again. Looked like something chipped off the top of it.
A broken bat knock for JD Martinez after he had the 2-run double that tied the game in the 3rd. And following up the go-ahead 3-run shot from Verdugo here in the 5th as Xander climbs in. Strikeout and a ground out so far. I mean, you said it, right after the leadoff walk and then the double. It could be a big inning here for the Sox. Bender's 1-0.
Most of the fans have gone underneath the roof in the grandstands to stay dry. Now look at this infield.
Wow.
I mean, the grounds crew's done a great job. That's as good as they can do.
They've been lurking right by the tarp throughout this game. Perhaps ready to pounce. That comes inside, nearly got Bogaerts.
It's like a slider that slipped out of his hand that time. Yeah, that just completely out of control, right out of his fingertips.
JD singled. He's on at first. 1 down in the 5th. Bender deals. Fouled back by Bogaerts. Devers due next. And Xander wants time. That'll be interesting to see how these next few days play out here at Fenway with the weather. Two. Of course, Alex Cora, you just saw, he won't be at the game tomorrow. His daughter Camila, her high school graduation, and that is a proud father who will be with her and his family back in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and will be attending Boston College.
So you know she is smart. You also pointed out the tuition checks that come along with that. Gently rolled the 3rd. Birdie goes the short way, and the turn is not going to get Bogaerts, who stays out at 2 away. Well, on Sox Fan Camp tonight, we're celebrating Asian American Pacific Island Month, and we're joined by members of the Boston Korean Baseball League. And Shane Victorino.
Shane Victorino down at the bottom box.
Do you get a booking fee at all talking about his Hawaii 5-0 time?
No. Just good memories.
You sent Dave and Eck testing the knowledge. So Xander's on, 2 away now. Here comes Rafael Devers, who has struggled with the fastballs that he saw from Cody Poteet his first couple of times. Rolls it past the mound into the shift, and Diaz retires him, but the Red Sox take the lead in the 5th thanks to Verdugo. Not with the tarp. They are still adding the drying agent to the field here at Fenway as we go to the 6th after the Red Sox went ahead there in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now they're trying to keep this field as playable as possible, but you can see the puddles that have been piling up, between innings. And interesting that Ottavino is coming in the game here in the 6th inning. So, it makes you believe that maybe nobody thinks this is going to go 9 innings. So that's why Ottavino's in at this particular time.
Just 71 pitches from Martin Perez, and it's time now for the BuyForwardNow.com call to the bullpen, and it is Ottavino who's looked very good recently.
Yeah, he's improved immensely since the beginning of the season. The ERA down to 3.20, which is tough to do as a reliever, to get it down as much as he has.
So you're saying you think Alex Cora's got a sense of what the rest of the night might look like?
When you look at the conditions the way they are and the way they've had to fix the field every half inning the way it is, and it's, the amount of rainfall that's coming down right now, which I think is worse than it's been all night, you got to figure, how long can this game go? So you got to play it, like it may not be a 9-inning game.
Perhaps effectively a walk-off of sorts, we wondered, from Verdugo, but we go on here to the top of the 6th inning. Grounds crew is working feverishly out there,
trying to keep the field playable.
Starling Marte is laughing about it as he climbs in for the 3rd time. Doubled his first time, but was stranded against Martin Perez. Gave up the 2 runs, didn't walk anyone, and fanned 4. Ottavino's checking his footing. Last time we saw Ottavino Wednesday against the Braves, 4 up, 4 down. Came on in the 7th for Josh Taylor, and then he worked the 8th inning as well. That was his 6th straight scoreless outing. Is 1-0. Scuffled in Texas at the beginning of the month, and since then the last 10 times to the mound for Ottavino. As you said, he's figured it out. Alex Cora said the stuff has been good and just been executing on his pitches better as the year's gone along. Marte hits this one to right center with Kike Hernandez giving chase and making the catch for out number 1. Now time for a word from the Home Depot.
Avoid extra innings when you buy online and pick up orders at the Home Depot store nearest you. Thousands of products ready in hours.
So 1 down, no one on, and it brings up the Marlins 3-hitter, Jesus Aguilar, the first baseman. "5-2 Red Sox here in the 6th inning. First game of the weekend between the Marlins and the Sox. And now time calls. Jerry, you take stock of the Red Sox bullpen with how good Barnes has been, with Ottavino, with Taylor looking better. You feel more confident.
You do. Help maybe on the way with Brazier in time. Towers and Hernandez, at times can look totally out of control. Other times, brilliant.
Andriese struggling right now, a little more so than he was the first month of the season. Whitlock's been a revelation. Corresponding move was another pitcher added to the roster today, with Franchi Cordero going down yesterday. Colton Brewer called up from AAA Worcester. So he's the addition. The Red Sox going with 14 pitchers on the staff right now.
They had been doing that most of the year. Well, very close. He asked for the check swing. They got it. I don't think Aguilera liked that very much.
Looking down in the direction of Chad Fairchild. Ottavino's pitch, cut on and missed, swept it across the zone.
Breaking ball back to the slider. Way outside.
See what Ottavino goes to here. 1 out, no one on, 6th inning, and the 1-2. Rolled left side foul. We told you 10 games in 10 days beginning tonight for the Red Sox. Part of the thinking perhaps in going back to the 14 on the pitching staff. One, two again. He struck him out with 92, pinned to the corner.
Yeah, I saw a lot of breaking balls in that at bat. Then he comes with the fastball up outside part of the plate, top of the strike zone. Caught him looking.
Boy, you get that sort of command with your fastball to go along with the slider that Ottavino's always got. That is something. First pitch misses to the cleanup man for the Marlins, Garrett Cooper. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and then a fly out to right field his last time to end the 3rd. The 1-0 off the edge. Three balls and no strikes, and they're going to swap out baseballs. Ottavino shaking his head. Alex Spear tells us first time Ottavino's come into a game before the 7th, coming on here in the 6th in relief of Perez. And a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs for Cooper. So it brings up Corey Dickerson. Couple of singles. First time the opposite way, then in the 4th to the pull side, leading off against Perez that frame. It's a little different, Jerry, than when you guys resumed on Wednesday night, when you could hear everything from the folks behind the plate.
Yeah, mostly everybody left the ballpark and everybody seemed to gather behind home plate. And they get very loud down there.
We got updates on babysitters and timing at that point in the night. This one gets past Vasquez to the backstop, and Cooper advances. Ottavino's trying whatever he can to get that hand dry. Two-0 to Dickerson. Well, the reaction says it all here from Adam Ottavino.
Having trouble right now getting that slider over the plate. Like Ottavino set up some trouble with the mound in front of him too, and they may come out and try to work on the mound. We'll see what CB Buckner has to say about it. Crew chief. The mound and baseballs. I don't know.
Adam just keeps recycling baseballs, and you can understand why. He had motioned something to Adam Hammery. He's the second base umpire, just came in there to chat with Buckner.
I mean, look at this infield.
Similar story right side of the infield. There's a strike on 3-0. Dickerson didn't think so, and he's not happy about it.
And Buckner invited him back in the box. Dickerson was hot. Buckner kept his cool. Just kind of pointing to the box. Get back in.
Take your place. Man at second, 3-1. And it's a walk. So back-to-back free passes in the adverse conditions with 2 down in the 6th for Ottavino. And that'll bring Dave Bush to the mound. Alex Cora comes out and chatting with CB Buckner as well.
It's like Ottavino's having a tough time keeping the baseballs dry right now.
Baseball's hand, it looks like the whole deal for Ottavino. Well, we trudge on in the 6th. Cooper and Dickerson the walks, and it brings up Jorge Alfaro representing the would-be tying run here in the 6th inning after he went the opposite way for a 2-run shot in the 2nd. First pitch from Ottavino. Misses. Powerful connection presented by Xfinity. Experience a powerful and secure Wi-Fi connection for all your devices. Xfinity XFi. Can your internet do that?
A 2-run shot to the opposite field by Alfaro. Gave him a 2-0 lead at that point. That was back in the 2nd inning.
1-0 pitch to him. Sox answered in the bottom of the 3rd thanks to JD Martinez with the 2-run double. And then Verdugo put him ahead in the bottom of the 5th. And now Dave Bush on the phone. Back-to-back walks, and the 2-0 misses, and it's 3 balls and no strikes now on Alfaro.
Call to the bullpen. Will be interested to see who gets up down there in the Red Sox bullpen.
Would it be Barnes?
Could
at
be.
This point. .3-0 pitch, and that is 3 straight walks to load him up for the Marlins. And it is Matt Barnes.
So you know the forecast. There's no question about that.
You go Ottavino and Barnes.
Yeah, working in the 6th inning.
I mean, what's it going to take at this point, though, to put a stop?
You know, the field right now is as bad as I've seen it. And it's nothing the grounds crew can do. But Ottavino's going to get out of this mess.
Doesn't seem too pleased that this thing's still going and that he's got to pitch through this. Cooper is dodging puddles as he leads off third. Dickerson and Alfaro on as well, and the 0-1 is cut on and missed. 0-2. One more, they yell. Loaded for Isan Diaz here in the 6th with 2 away. Ottavino's 0-2. He got him swinging. A strikeout for Ottavino to leave him loaded.
They're going to bring the top.